The audience is so adorable with their little hands in the air like that. We love you guys, man. All right, the countdown's starting. So we're going to do this. MMA needs to focus. I think he's kind of been having some lackluster performance in this game. Losira is either, you know, kicking ass or he's all over the place. Now we're into the game. Over here in the upper right, MMA. In the upper left, we have Losira.
Well, it is Typhon Peaks, Tasteless. An interesting map pick. And, you know, not a bad one for Losira. It's kind of hard sometimes against Zerg to really take a third base here. A lot of the bases are very far away as well. Even though they aren't cross positions right now, that's going to make Losira taking bases in the bottom left very easy and hard for MMA to actually attack.
Now, you know, the big question is going to be, what kind of strategy are we going to see here from MMA? Because he's done basically the same strategy 2 times in a row. He's gone for those, you know, well, different types of Hellion strats, but he's gone for them getting the reactor out there. The first game, the second game, getting the blue flame Hellions. He seems to want to use Hellions to bully Zerglings off the map and then control the rest of the game.
You know, that's becoming more and more popular for Terran players. It kind of gives you some sort of map presence. Yeah. If you don't do that, or a 2 barracks play, or maybe Reaper first against someone who actually goes hatchery first, which is a little bit of a gamble, then you have no real map presence, and Zerg kind of controls everything, sees what's going on, and takes the lead foot in the game. You'd much rather not give that up. So I'm not surprised that this has evolved into the metagame.
The drone scouts out now, past the Xel'Naga Watchtower. This map, very important on this map to control the Xel'Naga Watchtowers for a little bit of a different reason than what we normally see. You can see them, units graze by here. It also, if you're down here, it forces your opponent to kind of come down and attack this location. Barracks on the way here, and refinery. I'm under the impression, Artosis, we're just going to see a quick factory again. It looks like that's the build that MMA has dictated best, in this case against Losira.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, Tasteless. Still, I would like to see a little bit of a different play. Maybe some Reapers, you know, but I think it's going to be a factory as well. We will see momentarily, though, after this Marine does pop out. Now he is starting to scout. Losira has not found MMA. MMA has not found Losira, but that will change soon. Ooh, it is going to be a Reaper.
How about that?
Happy boy, happy day. How many Reapers will he make, though? A lot of players only make 1. And in fact, that's a little bit of a late pool. It does make an extra couple drones and gas before that. But this, if he makes 2 Reapers, 3 Reapers, he should have them out and harassing before there's any speed. He just has to be very careful not to be hit by queens.
You know, the Reaper can serve the same function as the Hellion. It's a fast unit that can pick off units like Zerglings or drones very easily. And in this case, that's probably what we're going to see these 2 guys kind of doing over here. Here comes the Marine trying to get this Overlord. Just barely the Overlord gets out in time.
Tell me that isn't the sickest Marine you've ever seen.
That was so good by MMA.
Someone's been practicing this map.
A good player would have the Overlord here at this point in time. Try to intercept it. The Overlord barely gets away.
That's right. The Overlord was just slightly out of the position MMA thought it would be in, so that was just a great, great play. Now, a Reaper is out, Tasteless. He is switching add-ons, though, so it will only be 1 Reaper. Probably do a little bit of damage, but with 2 Queens on the way, as well as speed, Losira should feel pretty safe against this and not really lose more than maybe 4 Lings.
Now, remember, Reapers can be used for harassing and scouting. They're very, very good units. He just has to be careful to not lose it. It dies about as quick as it kills stuff.
And he is going to run back behind there. You got to be careful with the Reaper. As it jumps up, it can't really see the high ground. So if you do patrol some Lings there, sometimes you can get it.
The Marine is hitting the Overlord right now.
And look at that, Tasteless. This is a very rare time. A male and a female Karak right next to each other here.
They could make a baby Karak.
Wouldn't that be cute?
I would love to see that. Now, he did manage to kill off the Overlord over here. And, you know, of course, he did see the 2 gases. So, right now, MMA is going to be suspicious to protect. What? Whoa, 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 what?
Multiple command centers being made. I sense the spirit of Slayer's Boxer in this game, Tasteless. This is something a little bit wild.
This is actually something we started to see here in Korea. back when we were in Korea, players experimenting with getting multiple command centers at the start and just landing mules. One mule will get you 300 minerals. All it costs is the energy from the orbital. So in other words, you have about 2 mules landed. That basically pays for an orbital already.
Now, siege mode and siege tanks being made, so this should make him safe against any sort of baneling shenanigans. There are a lot of lings on the way from Losira, a baneling nest as well. It looks like he wants to do some baneling bust action, but it should not work out. Look at that, there you go. Siege tank already ready.
I like the pathfinding here by Losira, going up to the top. He wants to avoid the Xel'Naga watchtowers down here in case there's anything that might get in the way coming through here.
Well, we are going to have to see, will Losira overcommit? Will he attack into these siege tanks too quickly? MMA is going to have to be quick. And in fact, already sees that there's a siege tank running in before the second is siege, and here he goes! The baneling's going up the ramp and going after those Marines. Can he get them? That will be huge! And he does get all the Marines. And, well, we do have just a siege tank left, about 3 Zerglings inside the main base. And it looks like MMA should be all right, but will lose a few more SCVs to the splash damage in Zergling.
Well, you know, that was a good job by Losira, basically denying SCVs from mining down in that location. Meanwhile, more and more Zerglings were streaming over there. I don't know if he's actually going to do another Bane bust again. You know, he did do enough damage already, but we're going to find out.
Well, he is switching heavily into drones, Tasteless, and more Zerglings coming in to harass. It's a great move to do against siege tanks, just light Zergling harass. Normally you have Marines to stop that, but of course we just saw the Banelings kill the Marines, so Losira reacting very, very well. And now there is a little problem though, Tasteless. A third base going up for Losira, and he's at 43 drones next to 19 SCVs, but in MMA's defense, he does have those 3 command centers and will refill his economy much quicker than Losira expects.
Note, rather MMA here with a bunch of SCVs. He looks like he was a bit guarded there. Now he's going to go ahead and send these SCVs over here to mine. Now, I just want to double check something here. He did see the 3rd orbital.
Yeah.
So he knows what MMA is doing. Oftentimes, this can come as an element of surprise. If the Zerg doesn't see it, the Zerg assumes, you know, eventually he's going to expand or push out, but he's actually been sitting on this orbital for quite some time.
Well, normally when you get 3 orbitals pretty quick, you're going to, if you see that as Zerg, you're going to think, okay, this is probably going to be a timing attack. He wants to get an unreal amount of minerals. He wants to super saturate his mineral lines, get a bunch of mules down, and then suddenly explode in units and attack. So that is something that he is going to have to absolutely keep in mind and make units in time for. If he doesn't, things are going to look pretty grim.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for the time being, we're still seeing, you know, more and more Marines come out here. I think this is, as you said, going to be some kind of power timing push. Losira may regret in the future taking this expansion. It's much more accessible than, for instance, these expansions down here for some kind of power push.
I love that Losira getting his macro hatch already. He's such a Ling Baneling type of guy. You really need that macro hatch on 3 base to be able to spend your money down. And it looks like MMA, you know, he's getting his stim upgrade. He's still making siege tanks, getting that starport up, and it looks like he's going to go into production mode pretty quickly here.
More and more Lings being developed. He is getting burrow as well as Baneling speed here. And, you know, we don't know exactly when the timing of this push is. He might just be poking here. But eventually, this push is going to come out, and Baneling landmines might be the way to go. You blow up one group of you know, Marines and siege tanks with a few Baneling landmines, and it's just huge. And judging from how this you know, this MLG has been going, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that this time around.
Quite true, Tasteless. Now we do have MMA moving up through the map, coming over here, starting to build bunkers. Beautiful positioning with siege mode. He should be able to really harass this expansion. There are 75 drones out, by the way, for Losira against 49 SCVs. So his economy is pretty insane at the moment, but this is really going to hurt. He's going to have to abandon this expo if he can't take it out.
Counterattack. MMA goes inside the bunker.
Not the biggest counterattack.
Yeah, not the scariest counterattack I've ever seen, but the Zerglings turn around here. You know, as I said before, he might regret Losira, you know, taking his hatchery. It's going to be pretty easy for the Terran to push.
Well, he does have a pretty decent creep spread, but not up into the area that MMA has set up his siege lines. And it looks like Losira is going to check this out. Chase is sending some Zerglings up, and the siege tank's going to be able to take these out, losing Oh, losing one Siege Tank, but spending a lot of lings to do so. Losira still ahead in supply, 121 to 105, but his army isn't necessarily the scariest thing I've ever seen. Speed Banes and lings only.
Banelings coming in here, another blunder attack here. Totally boggling why he would send those Banelings in like that. He does have a Baneling landmine here though, but it's actually going to be Medivacs that right now are transporting units up there. Right now, Losira getting ready to potentially wipe out this attack. It's going to be tough. These two tanks not in siege mode though.
And here we go. The Zerglings are going to want to get up on the Siege Tanks to let the Banelings try to roll by, targeting down those Banelings as best he can, and a lot of them are, in fact, going down. Those Marines running away. The Banelings rolling up. Does he have enough? He does break the bunker lines. More and more Zerglings coming. What a swarm of Zerg units. Losira really playing the Zerg like you read about them in the books, Tasteless.
Now, the destructible rocks could be taken out here, but it's starting to even out, at least in this game.